Welcome to the Primetime Bulletin that powers your evening with that dose of news from around the city, the buzz across political tables in your state and the nation's decision makers and breakers. Good evening, I'm Evelyn Matthew.
The crucial executive of the DMK is underway here in Coimbatore for over 4 hours now. I will join you from the venue with more details on that in a while from now.
Before we go across to Pir in a bit, the headlines now. After a drubbing at the polls, the DMK looks at strengthening their district secretaries at the executive committee meeting in Coimbatore. While the heir to the DMK throne is also in a awaited decision, Big Brother T.R. Balu dismisses a sibling rivalry between Stalin and Aragiri.
Just gossip for the press media only.
Tragedy strikes the KMC hospital as a fire claims lives of 3 patients as they die of asphyxiation. Amma orders 2 lakh rupees salacium. Tamil Nadu's government hospitals apply the much-needed bandage to cases of post-birth bleeding. A life-saving anti-shock garment comes in place. Stylish Surya turns 36 today. NDTV-HINDU takes a bag full of wishes to the birthday boy.
Happy birthday, Surya! We love you!
And years on, Don Bosco's alumni raise their glasses to an 80-year-old teacher who's shaped many a legend. Let's also scan some of the other news making headlines internationally and nationally as well. NDTV exposes a new land scam involving B.S. Yediyurappa, how land that was denotified by him was bought for a pittance by his sons. A gunman opens fire at a youth camp in Oslo, killing 84 in the guise of a policeman. 7 others killed in a blast hours earlier by the same man. Actor Mammootty questioned for nearly 7 hours by IT officials after raids on his homes and offices yesterday. 100 acres of India's most security-sensitive Srinagar airfield have been sold to private players, an NDTV exclusive. And if she can do it on screen, well, she can do it off it too. Kat Kev takes Hrithik Roshan for a ride. Our headline story today, more than 375 members of the DMK have congregated at Coimbatore City for what's a crucial executive and general council meeting in a while. After the bold drubbing the DMK was faced with this May, the DMK is doing some introspection and deciding future strategies. What's specifically come as a focus this time around is that they are looking at strengthening district secretaries. Characteristically, the party seems pretty sour in its relationship with the Congress, having got no support in bailing out its jailed ministers, Rajya Sabha MP Kannimuri, or even the former telecom minister A. Raja, or even in Dayanidhi Maran's resignation saga. The party is also reviewing claims of land grabbing by the current government against the DMK, among other issues like the Sri Lankan Tamils issue and the troubled waters its alliance has found itself in lately. Senior leader T.R. Balu has confirmed this morning that the party will also decide on whether to send replacements for former telecom minister A. Raja and textiles minister, that is former textiles minister Dayanidhi Maran.
No, whatever it is, there's a political meeting. In politics, so many things will be discussed about the alliance people. Would be everything.
Thanks, so the Congress has said that they've kept aside 2 seats for the DMK. So
Kept?
They've kept aside 2 seats for the DMK. The Prime Minister had
That is true. That is true. That is true.
That will obviously be discussed in a meeting.
No, everything will be discussed all together.
Meanwhile, DMK decision makers have more to deal with at the Coimbatore meeting, a succession battle within and the disquiet arising from it. Sources say supporters of Karunanidhi's younger son M.K. Stalin will seek his elevation to a new post, that of working president, which would make Stalin number 2 in the party. But the camp led by his elder brother Aragiri is gearing up to scuttle the move. Senior DMK leader Balu, however, has dismissed reports of differences between Stalin and Aragiri as just media gossip.
No, nothing. You are so totally misplaced. I think press is being misplaced somewhere. I don't know how it is. It's all just gossip for the press media only, not with us. Nothing.
Well, DMK party workers are hoping that an array of issues from the transport employees' labour issues to textbooks in schools and even the future of the party feature within these 2 days. And here's what some of them had to say.
அவங்கள வந்து பர்టిక్యులரா எல்லா எவிடன்ஸும் வெச்சு அதாவது எம்ப்ளாய்மென்ட் மூலமா எடுத்துர்க்காங்க எல்லாமே வெச்சு தான் எடுத்துர்க்காங்க ஆனால் வந்து இவங்களுக்கு வேலை கொடுக்கூடாங்கிற ஒரே காரணத்தினால வந்து அந்த 800-900 பேர் வந்து வேலையை விட்டு நிறுத்திருக்காங்க.
மக்கள் இப்போவே உணர்ந்துட்டாங்க. குழந்தைங்களோட படிப்பு கெட்டதுலேருந்தே ஜனங்க நல்லாவே உணர்ந்துட்டாங்க அவளை பற்றி.
ஆட்சியில் வெற்றி வாய்ப்பை இழந்திருக்கிற திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழகம் தலைவர் கலைஞர் தலைமையில் மீண்டும் ஒரு புத்துணர்வு பெறக்கூடிய ஒரு மிக வரலாற்று சிறப்பு வாய்ந்த ஒரு பொதுக்குழு செயற்குழு.
Let's just go across live now to Coimbatore City, where our principal correspondent Peer Muhammad joins us. Peer, I believe you've just spoken to the man himself, Mr. Aragiri. What have you been getting from Coimbatore?
Yes, Evelyn, the executive of the DMK just got over after 4 hours. In fact, when Alagiri emerged out of the meeting, we went to him and asked him what happened, and he said all the decisions of the executive will be again consulted with the General Council, which consists of about 2,000 members, and only the General Council can decide whether the executive decision can stand or not. So they are waiting for the General Council. So most probably only the DMK chief can comment on whatever happened today, but other leaders are keeping mum about whatever was discussed. But we were able to speak to some of the senior leaders here off the record. What they were telling us is the main issue that was discussed is the alliance with the Congress party, and they had in fact discussed whether to fill up those 2 cabinet berths. And in fact, other leaders are also coming out now that MK Stalin is also coming out, Evelyn, and we will try and speak to him. But what we have seen here is whatever the executive has decided will be put to the vote of the General Council, and then only they will be able to comment on it finally, because there have been difference of opinions, particularly on changing the party structure, the traditional party structure, which is based on district secretaries who are former ministers, who are very powerful. They wanted to create a parallel power structure, which is called the Parliamentary Constituency Committee. There is so much of opposition from the former DMK minister who are also district secretaries. So that decision might be put on hold. The another decision that they wanted to discuss is the elevation of Stalin to the executive presidency of the party, which is also facing stiff opposition from Alagiri. So they might as well put that decision on hold. But what they will decide on at this point in time is to oppose the Congress, particularly on issues like the Sri Lankan Tamil issues. That is very clear. They are unanimous on that, and also not to fill up the 2 cabinet berths, which is the unanimous or overwhelming opinion of the executive committee members today at the party's executive committee meeting. So definitely, particularly there will be other decisions to fight the cases of land grabbing against DMK senior leaders and DMK's office bearers legally, which was the decision taken by the DMK's legal cells in the western districts this morning. That decision might be upheld by the General Council as well when it meets on Sunday. And also the final talk to be given by the DMK Chief Karunanidhi at the DMK General Council on Sunday is going to be the highlight, which might indicate the future of the DMK. What path they are going to, are they going to be on warpath with both the Congress and the AIDMK, or are they going to be soft on the Congress and going to go on warpath with the AIDMK? That will be known after the Sunday's General Council. Evelyn?
Right, thanks very much indeed, Peer, for joining us right there. Peer joining us from the heart of Coimbatore, where that meeting has just come to an end. But just to bring you up to date, in fact, you've just tuned in that that executive committee meeting by the DMK has come to an end, and a lot of issues have been raised, but these are going to be taken forth to the General Council meet that's going to take place tomorrow, and final decisions will be taken then, and hopefully by then the DMK chief M. Karunanidhi should speak about the future of the party by itself and about those replacements which have have been in question for a while now. Moving on to some tragic news from the city here in Chennai. A fire that broke out at the Kilpauk Medical College Hospital earlier this morning claimed the lives of 3 persons. 2 among these victims were women patients undergoing treatment there. The victims are believed to have died of asphyxiation after a fire broke out in the air conditioning machine. That led to flames and a smoke that began to engulf the intensive medical care unit. Fire personnel were rushed to the spot while that helped actually rescuing close to 5 patients. But surprisingly, firemen reported that doctors were nowhere to be seen as some were trying to evacuate, fearing their own lives. The Chief Minister, though, Ms. Jayalalitha, has announced a salarium of 2 lakh rupees for the families of the victims.
ஒரு ஃபயர் ஆக்சிடென்ட் நடந்தது. ஏசி பர்ன் ஆயிருக்கு. அதனால என்னன்னு பார்க்குறோம். police is there. Patients are all right. Shifted. Patients were immediately shifted. They are all right.
But 2 people have been died, right?
2 people who were very bad have died. We are investigating whether when they died, and we may have to do the requisite things to ascertain the cause.
4 party இருக்கும். ஏசியோட வயர் வந்து பொறி தெரிச்சு அந்த பொறி பட்டு ஒரு பெட் ஃபுல்லா எரிஞ்சிச்சு. அந்த பெட்டோட புகையால வந்து ஃபுல்லா வார்டு ஃபுல்லா புகை பரவிச்சு. டாக்டர் பரத்வாஜ் நர்ஸுங்க எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு வெளியில ஓடி வந்து பரத்வாஜ் சார் ரொம்ப ட்ரை பண்ணி எல்லாம் ஃபயர் ஸ்டேஷனுக்கு அங்க இங்கெல்லாம் ஃபோன் பண்ணி எங்க பேஷண்ட் உள்ள மாட்டிக்கிட்டாங்க, சீக்கிரம் வாங்கன்னு சொல்லி அவர் நிறைய பிரயத்தனம் பண்ணார். ஆனா உண்மையிலேயே சொல்ல போனா அவரோட பிரயத்தனால தான் 2 பேர் இறந்தாங்க. இல்லைன்னா எல்லாருமே இறந்துட்டு இருப்பாங்க. அவருக்கு வந்து நாங்க நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கோம். வெளியில வர்றப்போ உயிர் இருந்தது எங்க மாமியாருக்கு. இன்னொரு ஐசியூ வார்டுக்கு போறதுக்குள்ள அவங்க வந்து ஆஸ்துமா ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கிறவங்க. அவங்க அந்த கேஸ் மூக்கில் இருந்த அந்த இது ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எய்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க இல்லைங்களா, அந்த கேஸ் இது எடுத்ததுனால வெளியே வந்தவொடனே அந்த புகையை சுவாச்சிருக்காங்களா என்னன்னு தெரியல. வெளியில் வரப்போ உயிர் இருந்தது. இன்னொரு ஐசியூ வார்டில் மாத்திரத்துல உயிர் போயிடுச்சு.
Well, a close shave for many, but unfortunately 3 in fact have died in that fire accident. When we come back on Headlines Now, it's a bandage that heals new mommies with post-delivery bleeding. It's working wonders here in Tamil Nadu already. More when we come back.